Hello my friends, welcome to FHP Books. If you like movies and books, don't forget to take a look. Welcome one more time, and today I'm going to talk about samurai movies, about samurai films, not only cinema, also TV, Japanese TV, about this topic, about Chambara movies, about historical Japanese movies set in the Tokugawa period, in the Edo period, in Japan at the end of the shogunate, in the 18th, 19th century, more in the 19th century. And I'm going to talk about three iconic productions from Japan, three iconic productions with samurai related topics. And the first one of them is Lone Wolf and Cub. Lone Wolf and Cub, as you probably know, is a great Japanese saga. I say if you probably know, because if you like Japanese movies, if you like Japanese cinema, you should know Lone Wolf and Cub. It's a great series of 6 movies, of 6 films, 6 feature films. And the story of this saga, the story of Lone Wolf and Cub, tells us about a Ronin, a samurai who has been expelled from his clan. He has been expelled from the shogunate because of a conspiracy against him by the rival clan, in this case the Yakyu clan. The Yakyu clan is the rival of our protagonist, of Ogami Ito. Ogami Ito is this guy. This guy is played by Tomisaburo Wakayama. I will talk more about him later, but Tomisaburo Wakayama is the actor, the great Japanese actor, who plays the role of this protagonist of Ogami Ito, who is a high-ranking samurai. He's a high-ranking samurai in the shogunate, and due to some intrigues against him by these rivals, by the Yakyu clan, he is forced to abandon the service of the shogun. His enemies wanted him to commit seppuku, to commit harakiri, but he knows that he hasn't done anything wrong. He hasn't done anything wrong against the shogun, against his boss, against the country. So he is sure of his loyalty. He is sure that he always acted according to the Bushido code of honor, to the code of samurai honor. He always acted according to the Bushido, and he hasn't done anything wrong. He hasn't done anything wrong, so he does not see any need to commit seppuku. And instead of that, he prefers to retire. He prefers to go away in order to come back sometime at a later point to expose his enemies, to expose the Yakyu conspiracy. So Ogami Ito, the protagonist, he goes away from the shogunate, taking with him his little son Daigoro, the little kid who is like 3 or 4 years old. And the father, samurai Lone Wolf, goes with his cub, with his little son Daigoro. The little boy is in a cart, in a wooden cart, and the father and son go through the country, hiding from the assassins, from the enemies, from the killers, from the mercenaries that are sent to kill them by this Yakyu clan. And Ogami Ito is an amazing swordsman, and he is always defeating his opponents, he is defeating his enemies, and he is trying to win some time so he can prove that he is a loyal samurai and that he has not done anything wrong against the shogun, and that the real treason comes from his rivals, from this Yakyu clan. So the Yakyu clan is afraid, of course, is afraid of him being still alive, because him being alive is dangerous. He is dangerous for them because he could expose their treason. So that's more or less the story of the saga of these six movies. Lone Wolf and Cub. Lone Wolf and Cub. As you see here, Lone Wolf is the father, Okami Ito, and his cub is his son Daigoro. And father and son go through all the country while these enemies, while this Yakyu clan is trying to kill them, and so on. So each film, each movie, each one of these six movies has an own adventure, has an own story, but the huge story in the big context is what I just exposed. This samurai, this Ronin that was expelled, and he tries to restore his honor. He tries to restore his honor to expose his enemies and to expose this conspiracy, this intrigue against him. That's the story of Lone Wolf and Cub. Then the second production that I want to talk about today is Oshi Samurai. Oshi Samurai is the mute samurai, the silent samurai, that is also starring Tomisaburo Wakayama. Tomisaburo Wakayama stars as Okami Ito, as Lone Wolf, and also as this Oshi Samurai, this mute samurai. And the mute samurai is a bounty hunter. He is a bounty hunter that is looking for revenge against an enemy that cut his throat like 20 years ago. He survived this attack, but he remained mute because his throat was cut by this enemy that was actually a foreigner, a Spaniard. He was a Spanish merchant that was in Japan at the time. We are talking about its 19th century. It's the end of the shogunate, and already some foreign merchants, already some foreign influences were starting to come into Japan. And it's very interesting that in this series, our protagonist, Oshi Samurai, does not only use a katana. Of course, he uses a katana, he uses his samurai sword, but he also uses a revolver, he also uses a Colt, he also uses a firearm, and it's also very interesting that this story of Oshi Samurai